Welcome back to Low Buck Builds. In today's video, we're going to be installing and reviewing this 8-gang RGB switch panel from Superee. So stay tuned.
I should have been a fishing YouTuber.
So in today's video, we're going to be installing an 8-gang switch from Superee. They asked me to do an unbiased review, so we're going to check it out. We're going to do an unboxing, we're going to install it, and we're going to check out the features and overall see how it ranks. The biggest thing I'm looking for is a solution where I do not have to drill more holes or cut more holes in my dash. So in a previous video, we installed their Superee trail lights and did a review on those. Today we're going to be checking out their switch box and see if it's an easier solution than just using a harness. So let's get started. All right, let's open it up and see what we get in the box. All right, we got a thank you message. Instructions for using the lights. More instructions. Couple pages of button stickers or covers. All right, so we got our main control box. There we go. That's our fuses, positive, negative. All right. A few other things. All right. Feels pretty solid. Steel bottom, plastic top. We got some power cables. Hey, we got a screwdriver, cable, some mounting hardware we probably won't use, zip ties, a fuse link, then we have, looks like a master power switch. Which, if that's what this is, that's pretty nice. Yep, a 60 amp breaker with a cover. And our switch panel feels pretty solid. Hard plastic, feels like it might have some steel in the middle. It's got some weight to it. Looks like we have plenty of cable too. Little sticker we'll add to our cabinet. I added the sticker to the collection on the cabinet. And if you'd like to get your sticker for your business or for your YouTube channel or anything like that, contact me on Facebook or Instagram and we'll set it up. We'll get it on the cabinet. We want to see how many different stickers we can get from all over the world. Looks like we might have a couple of mounting brackets as well. Couple mounting brackets. All right, and that looks like about it. Oh, and we have a few more mounting brackets. All right, so let me get this stuff put up. We'll take a look at the directions and we'll see how well they're written. Okay, so you have these brackets here you can mount to the box and make it swivel and do all kinds of stuff. I am not going to use these. I'll take a picture. I will show the instructions here, and if you want to mount it that way you can. I am just going to mount the box flat inside the Jeep somewhere. I don't need swivels and all this crap in here. That's just me, but if you want to mount it with where it swivels or you can mount it to different surfaces, you have plenty of brackets here to choose from. So I'm going to find a place on the Jeep and get this mounted. I'll go ahead and take a quick shot of the instructions here. So as you can see, there's quite a few different ways you can do the switch panel and the control box. But again, I'm just going to mount it with the two mounting holes on the back flat to a surface. So let's find a spot to put it. So it's getting pretty packed up in here. As you can see, I got so much stuff mounted. So let me take a look for a few, figure out where I want to mount it. Might find a way to mount it to the fuse panel here. So give me a minute and I'll be right back. So after struggling for a little bit to try and find a spot to flat mount this, I ended up removing the air box and I'm going to do a custom mount. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a conical filter, eliminate this air box to make some more room. I just don't have anywhere to mount it up here. I got so much stuff going on already. So I got this big open space here. I'll probably weld a plate in or bolt a plate in, bolt a box down here, and then just wire it to the battery from there, and the lights. And just open up the space by getting the conical filter. So let me get that stuff ordered and then we'll come back to this. Alright, so here's the plan. I'm going to mount this bracket right here. I'm going to use 2 of the Lord's fasteners to hold that in place, and then an 1/8 inch drill bit, drill them out, and I'm going to rivet them. I thought about welding it, but I'd like to be able to remove it. I can always drill it out later if I need to get to the strut mount. So that's the plan. Let's get to it. Alright, we got our 1/8 inch bit. We tried one before, but it's a little too dull. Alright, I got my little rivet gun, 1/8 inch rivets. This should be plenty strong enough. If not, later I'll just drill a hole in it and put a bit in it. I just want to get this in here so we can move on. Yeah, that's not going anywhere. All right, let me get everything cleaned up and we'll go ahead and start getting this ready to wire. So I did get my new filter and my new battery cables in. These are 3 feet. These are like 1 feet. So by mounting it further away, I just want to make sure I had enough. So, okay, so this is why you buy these kits and you pay the money, because this is super easy to wire. Positive the battery, that's these big cables here. Negative the battery, those big cables there. This is your control wire that goes to your switch panel, goes right there. There's an accessory there if you want to do an accessory. We're not going to worry about that right now. These are actually numbered 1 through 8. We're gonna do 1 and 2 for the lights. This is gonna be the dims, and this is gonna be the high beams. And these are wired together, so we're only gonna need 1 ground, I believe. If for some reason it needs a 2nd ground, we'll just run a wire between the 2 grounds there. So I just wanna give you a quick overview. Let's get it in the car. These lights, again, you got a yellow and a red. I'm not sure which one's high beam or low beam. We'll have to test it. If it's backwards, then we'll just switch it out. Same thing for this light over here. So we're gonna go ahead and get some cable and we'll go ahead and get the box mounted and we'll go from there to here. Alright, so the reason I use this plate is because it's already got screws to line up with the box here. I want my ground towards the body side, and that's what I was afraid of. I'm not too damn close. It's not the end of the world. I will just I'll move this pipe out of the way. I believe this is for air conditioning. I don't have the air conditioning even hooked up anyway. I think we'll just get everything wired up and just put this over across the top. It ain't gonna hurt anything. We're just gonna run a self-tapper over here. Probably trust the self-tapper more than the other bolt not to come loose. I leave it like that. If it starts to come loose or anything, I'll put a regular bolt in it with some nylocks on the back end. But I think it'll be fine for now. All right, next let's get our battery cables hooked up. The one that came with the kit's plain long enough for ground. All right. Kind of wondering if I should have just did this first and then put the box in, but too late now. All right, there's our ground. We'll keep, actually I'm gonna let that turn a little. Go fairly tight, not too crazy. All right, so I picked up a few things at Harbor Freight and some things I still have for the wiring. We're gonna use 14 gauge, which is heavy, but it's what I got. I got these heat shrink connectors with the solder in the middle. I got some wrap, I got some small cable ties. I also got this style of cover as well. So let's go ahead and get these lights wired up. The thing I'm gonna do is run cable from here to here. Just some wire from here to here, and then we'll mix from here to the box with that wire. So looks pretty nice. All right, so now we're gonna run this over to the other light and then run that light up to the power box. All right, so I got all my wiring ran. So to keep from confusion, I painted this red. It was a black wire, but I didn't want to waste more wire. I used the scrap piece from the light earlier, so I just spray painted it red. Port 1 and 2 are right here. This red wire is gonna go, after it dries, it's gonna go in 2, and red and black is gonna go in 1 here. So I'm gonna go ahead and get these stripped out. And we'll go ahead and get these installed. Go ahead and get these all loose. And it shows you which one's positive and which one's negative. I'm gonna shorten these down a little bit. Probably about 1/4 inch. Hopefully this wire's not too thick for these. Screwdriver. There we go. There's one. Don't go too crazy, but you want them fairly tight. I call it 2-finger tight. I'm going to strip out our last one here. Hopefully it's dry. Maybe it's not dry. That's fine, I'll live. A little paint on my hand ain't gonna kill me. Jeez, I don't want to get covered in paint. Come on. Shit. Get in there. Alright, they're all installed. Get this paint off and we'll give her a test run. Alright, so we got our connections all set up there. I shouldn't have to have a ground because that uses this common ground with the dim lights and the brights. That's how we got going so far. I think I'm going to try mounting this to the top of the box once we get everything else done. So next we need to figure out where we want to run our control wire through the cab. So I'm going to find an open grommet and then I'll be back. So I'm a fan of using this grommet right here. That's what I typically use. The only negative is you got to run along the whole side of the Jeep. They give us plenty of cable though, so I think I'm going to look at that first. So we'll run through here and then we'll just tie on to this piece right here. Just to temporarily check it, we're just going to use nuts here and hook it up temporarily just to test it. Later on, I got to replace this anyway, as you can tell, and we'll make a better connection. Alright, so we got everything temporarily hooked up just so we can test it. You can see we got a red light there because we haven't put the controller in. So let me go ahead and plug the controller up and we'll give it a test. All right, so let's go ahead and plug this up and give it a test. All right, we're connected. Ooh, cool. All right, we got our lights lit up. You can turn them off, on, and different brightness. And you can change the colors. That's cool. Like the green. And boom. So, bring the controller out. All right, so that's the first one. It works. Second one's dim. So that's what I was afraid of. I got them backwards. So I just need to switch to the reds for 1 and 2 around, because the dim ones are 2 right now instead of 1, which I wasn't sure when I did the wiring which one was orange and which one was red, so I'll fix that. But still, it's working. So I believe if you hold it, I know there's a way to make them where they'll flash and do other things. I'll have to look at the manual. So anyway, we're working. It's pretty cool too. I haven't put the things on because I wasn't sure which ones were 1 and 2. So let me get these wires switched real quick. Good. All right, let's test them. All right, power. Yep, low beam, high beam. Pretty sweet. And again, you can change the colors. I'll go ahead and get the little inserts and put in here. Let's see, I think there's a way you like hold it in or something and I'll make it where they flash. All right, so now that we tested it, we know everything works. Now I'm gonna tidy it up. I'm gonna get the cover on, get this mounted, figure out how to get into the cab. All this is gonna get covered in that plastic piping. So, and then get my winch cables over there, back mounted up here. So I'm basically gonna tidy everything up. I'm gonna do that stuff off camera, and then we'll come back for a final review. All right, so overall, I think it's a good product. Saves a lot from harnesses. The price, $100 sounds like a lot, but you buy 8 harnesses and switches and do all that wiring. I mean, it's worth it. Plus, then on top of that, it was very easy to wire this. Most of this video has been just prep and stuff. The actual product itself is great. I mean, it's probably a 20-minute wiring job if you already have your lights done and a place to mount it. Well, I ordered some grommets. I'm not gonna wait till they put it in to finish the video. I'm actually gonna run the wiring through down here, put a grommet in, and then I'm gonna use Velcro and attach it somewhere along here, maybe even on the side here. That's my plan, but you're not gonna see that in this video just because I'm not gonna wait another 2 days to get this video out. If you like this video, make sure to hit that like button. If you want to see more videos on this Jeep and other projects, then hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys in the next video.